This graph shows the precipitation versus the altitude in a river basin. As the altitude goes up, the rainfall goes up. So if we were to draw in a line of best fit, it's going to have 45 for the slope. If we remember that slope is rise over run, we can put this increase of 45 millimeters of precipitation on top and 1 kilometer of altitude on bottom. And that matches up here with the numbers for D. So in this equation, which is about a coffee shop promotion giving away samples, X is the number of days after the promotion began, and Y is the number of free coffee samples that remain. So if we plug in 11 for X, that means we're looking at 11 days after the promotion, and we're giving away 0 samples. C is the only one that has 11 days and no samples. In 1962, we started out with this population, that's our intercept, and K is the number of years, so our population is declining for some number of years, and this is what we're left with now, almost none. So 61 is the slope, and it's a negative 61, so that's the average decrease per year. So we're looking at this equation, which incorporates how much Shayla ran and walked, and is looking at the total amount of time. The 7 comes from the running part, so that tells us the speed that we're running at. We have 2 survey groups, Group R and Group V. They answered a total of 17 questions, 9 by V, and then we have this equation. So what does 4R represent in this context? Well, let's think about, they said a total of 9 questions for V, and that came in as 9. So for R, we're going to take 4 per student times the number of students, and this is going to give us the total number of questions answered by students in Group R. So we're looking at this function, and there's during a specific time period where the growth is approximately linear. What does A represent then? A represents the slope. So rise over run. And if we look at rise, that's the height increase over the time. So how tall per day, or how much our height is increasing per day. So we're looking for keywords like grows each day, and that's why A is the right answer. So if we consider that we're looking at the slope of the line of best fit, remember that slope is rise over run. So we're looking for the average increase each year, which all of these seem to have, the each year part. Then there's a difference between actual and predicted. Since we're looking at the line of best fit, that's the prediction part. So the actual answers can be crossed out. And then the second difference is increase in percentage of households or increase in number of households. Well, what does our y-axis say? Does it say number of households or percentage? That's why B is right. N is the cups of tea, and T is the tea bags. So if we wanted to increase N by 1, how much would T increase by, or have to increase by? And the answer is just 1, 1 to 1. This is the equation for the average cost per square foot of a condominium in a particular city after a particular year. So this tells you the price at that year, and each year that goes by, the price per square foot goes up, because this is in the slope spot, not the intercept spot. So we're looking for an average cost increase per year. Increase per year. A 3,000 piece jigsaw puzzle, there are this many edge pieces. So if we subtract that, what's left, 48R, is going to be 2,784. And that is going to tell us the total number of inside pieces. We don't know exactly how many are in each row, and it wouldn't make sense to say 48 times R. Now if it said there are 48 pieces in each row, that's different than 48 R pieces. That's why D is the right answer. We're looking at an equation for store C, and we're looking for a slope. which varies by the number of days. So there's a fixed cost, that's the materials, so we're not going to include that. We are going to add up the dollars per day amounts, 20 and 70. So that'll give us 90, which they didn't even ask us to solve, but it's going to be the total daily rental cost of the tools. Since the materials is a one-time fee, we don't include that. So this is the equation that tells you the cost to rent a truck. There's a flat one-time fee, and then there's a price per mile. They want to know what does the y-intercept graph of the graph represent. That means you rented a car, but you have not driven it at all. So it's the flat fee. This is the number of students enrolled in a university after a particular year. We start off with this many, and then it changes from there. But we don't need to know that because we just want to know the starting value, the number that were enrolled in this particular year.